it is when you bring up presence and you say be in that present moment, there is no other moment other than the present. And you'll hear Frank and I talk about this, but when we say you are already there, or you have every opportunity already within you, what we mean by that is this presence, is this moment. It's in the silence, it's in the being that endless opportunities appear. And we get caught in our mind of past thought, future thought, what we got to do, what we got to get done, what we should have done, what we should have done, how we should have responded to someone. And we are never in that present moment. But when you're in the present moment, your wants, your desires, your goals, all of these are much more accessible, and they aren't distant ideas. In fact, they unfold just like Frank's talking about. So these signposts are more when you quiet the mind and you allow yourself to be in this moment, to recognize what this room feels like, smells like, just the space around you. You're not focused on this exterior, what's going on in the world, what could have happened, what should happen, all those types of things. You're just in that moment, and it's in that moment that these signposts appear, that these next steps are opened up to us. It's in that quiet space.
Well, remember what the actual work is. It's getting into the state in which you think that new job, that new house, the new car will get you prior to getting to it. So most of us are waiting for that to give us the excuse of feeling good. Hey, how's your day going? Oh, it's great. I got a raise. So you actually having the physical raise is why you're feeling good. The truth is, somewhere along the line you felt good, and this is why your boss gave you a raise, but you didn't put the correlation together, and then you did. Then you actually said it was because I got the raise I felt good. I'm like, that is not it. So when we stay in the present moment, you don't have to even close your eyes. You can be in the present moment. Like earlier today, I walked outside, and I was like thinking all these things I had to do, and all of a sudden, just a chunk of leaves just fell off the tree, and all of a sudden, it took me out of the future thinking, like, what I have to do today. And I was just present, and I just watched these leaves trickle down to the ground. And in that moment, it was a feeling. It had nothing to do with the leaves, but the leaves shook me out of anything because the leaves are happening now. And I'm like, wow, okay. It doesn't mean I don't anticipate my day, but I don't get stuck up in it because I can't do what I need to do in this moment. What I have to do at 4:00, it will create anxiety. Right now, it's,
And we do this often with everything.
Yeah, we do.
This is why we are never in the moment. It's always, okay, I just got to get to lunch.
Yeah.
Then I'll be able to relax at lunch. Then you get to lunch, and you don't find yourself relaxing at lunch. You're thinking about, okay, I just need to make it through the rest of the day.
Yeah, when you get to lunch, you might have a temporary distraction and feel good. This is why we're always trying to get somewhere, because we'll get there. We'll get to lunch. 12:00 comes every day. Yeah. Bedtime comes every day. So there are these momentary distractions that make us feel good. This is why we look for them. If they never worked, we would never look for lunch or dinner or watch a TV show. But you realize they're temporary because that is not it. You're distracting yourself. You allowed yourself at 12:00 to feel good. Now, once you finish your lunch, you go on your way. Now, I gotta do all this stuff before dinner. I gotta get home. Now the anxiety kicks back in.
Falling back into the mind.
Falling back into the outside world. But when we actually go in and just relax and allow it to unfold, all of a sudden the steps and all the situations and the steps that we need to do for the moment in which we're in the day, the activity, getting things done, actually appear. And the diagram is drawn out for us in an easier, more
digestible?
Digestible, but just a simplistic way, more efficient way is what I'm looking for. So, if you're going to you have to do like 5 things that you have to do them. I'm not saying don't do them, but all of a sudden, somewhere along the line when I'm in the present moment, these things become effortless. Or somebody says, hey, I'll take care of this thing for you without even me asking. They just show up, and it's like, and I marvel over not getting the things done, but it's the effortless aspect, the ease in which I got it done. But I'm doing it. I'm not sitting on the couch. I'm not doing anything. But, just like a runner who runs effortlessly is still running. But they get into this. So when someone runs, what they have to learn to do is become buoyant. If you're not buoyant, you're going to hurt your knees. You're going to hurt your ankles. It's going to hurt. But once you become buoyant, and that's actually when you're moving, you become more buoyant. When you're steady, you kind of at your heaviest weight. So the more buoyant you become, the funner it is to actually run, to move. So buoyancy is just levitating to a different frequency. You're actually lightening up your body. At different levels, you have different degrees of weight in your body, but different levels, you have different weights of your body. And we know this. If somebody left the planet, you go a certain 30,000 feet in the air, and if you actually stand somewhere on the scale, and it wasn't pressurized, but you have trouble breathing, you wouldn't weigh the same. Obviously, if you're on the moon, and you stepped on the scale, you wouldn't weigh the same. We can do this energetically. Now, it's not about, it's a good way to lose weight. I'm like, yeah, well, now you're still stuck in the old facet that you must lose weight to feel good or be good. And there's real no truth to that. There's no evidence to it. Health and weight have there is a correlation, but it's not a direct causation. But
when you're happy, the weight follows, the health follows,
Well, happiness is health.
Yeah, but you see what I mean?
But there's always more health and more stuff to get. And then the outside world will present itself. It has to. In other words, it's not about just having a dream and waking up and then sitting in a ditch. The dream will come true. But when the excitement is not seeing it coming. It's like that childlike state, like, the kid that has to wake up every day to go to school wakes up very tired. But the second they're going on a field trip, they're up at the front door before the parents are ready. Why? Because they know it's unknown. But you go to school, you sit at your desk, the teacher writes on the chalkboard and pull out this book, pull out that book. It's so humdrum. This is why children do not like it. And most children, especially at younger ages, the reason you can't contain them is because they want to just continuously move in their field of present moment. Kids are always present. What 5-year-old is looking in the mirror saying, I need to lose weight?
Yeah.
How am I scoring? They're running around the playground with each other, kicking a ball around, but they're not competing. They're collaborating. But then we teach them, you got to take this serious now. You got to beat that kid over there, and you got to do this. How many seesaws can you do in a day?
It's like it's all conditioning.
Yeah,
that's it.
Imagine like a 6-year-old. Okay, we're going to do 30 seesaws, 20 swings.
Well, I'm glad you say that, because that's where all of these ideas and these mental patterns come from. It's just early age of this is how it's done. This is how it's done.
What
this
happened
is
is when people observe someone in a present state, they look at what they're doing. They don't interject what they're feeling. And this is why we try to feel good. That's how it's so subtle. So if I'm watching someone have a great time and they're like, that person's running around a circle, so let's build a track. Let's everyone get around the track. You're going to feel good. So now you make these kids get up and run around the track. It's like, oh, shit, I don't want to track. I want to invent some coding on my computer, Mm-hmm. No, you must run. It's going to make you feel good. Now the kid's throwing up on the side and shit like that. But it's like, the coach who did this watched someone happy. I'm like, yeah, that person was meant to run.
Yeah.
That kid was meant to code or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. So we think the doing is what makes us feel good. I'm like, no, the feeling is why we do. I climbed the tree because I felt good. The tree was just an expression of my feeling good. But the tree didn't make me feel good. I was already feeling good. That's what allowed me to climb the tree.
That's it.
So it's a subtle thing, but it is literally learning to put the horse, in front of the cart. And the world, when you examine somebody else, you're literally putting the cart in front of the horse, because you cannot examine someone from the outside world. You must go within. And it's not my job to examine somebody else. It's my job to examine how I feel. And I'm learning and I'm getting better at it, but I'm controlling my feeling. My mind is controlling my body. My body's the thing that feels. My mind is the ability in the quantum field to generate the frequency for the body to feel. But if I'm stuck in the outside world like I am, I don't say most of the time anymore, but I was most of the time, All of a sudden, if it rains, it sucks. If it's sunny out, I'm going to get, where's my sunglasses? There's
Yep.
always something that's aggravating no matter what's happening. But, hey, life's not bad, you know?
Yep.